Good morning, fellow and future weirdos of the flock. Welcome to the party pen. Yesterday we left off the tribe of Dan killed some peaceful ass people that had nothing to do with them. They just ran up on these people and was like, die! And that's what happened. Then they stole the babies and the food. So, we are going to the next story that is fucking wild. I remember the next story. So, press like and subscribe if you want to hear what happens next. I am Nikki K the Great. I will be walking you through Das Bible, and we are going to have good time. So come in. Leave your shoes on. Listen, leave your shoes on. Did you take your medicine? All right. Stop right here. Right there. And grab you some Keep Other People Alive juice. Yes. And then, before you have a seat, pack a bowl, grab a cigarette. There's cigarettes around here. Grab a cigarette, and then let's smoke it, read it, drink it. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. Well, also first, Basketball Guy and Fish Cake said you didn't take your pill, so take your medicine. It's highly important. Why do you argue? And also, I did something. I'm a bad man. But I didn't do it on purpose. So, remember yesterday I told you about the Mormon people? Okay. Well, I got kicked out of the group for saying offensive things in a nice way, but I wasn't even being offensive to them. I was just being offensive in general. But I didn't even try to be offensive. The one time I don't try to be offensive, and apparently I'm offensive. And I get it, they don't know me. And I didn't even give them the opportunity to know me. But it's because they were bashing on right-wing people, okay? And they were extremely left-wing, and I was trying my best. But apparently you just cannot get along with these people. Even the God version of these people, you just can't get along with them because they're offended by every fucking word in the dictionary. Yes, they are offended about every fucking word in the dictionary. And then they don't even have backup words to the words they're offended by. So it's like they kicked me out of the group. But I was trying to say I am more right than left because I'm not a fucking communist. And I was trying to tell them I knew the difference between fags and gay people, and it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter what you say to these grown-ass adults offended by a fucking word. There's nothing you can say to these people that will make them accept somebody from the right. But I bet if I wouldn't have told them I was from the right, they would have got offended anyway. Because I don't fucking know. Because I don't want to fucking go by a pronoun. And apparently, you have to have a pronoun. Well, one of these people told me about a thing called gender void. So I said, can I just put regular? And they were like, no, you have to identify yourself. It's like, okay, can I be gender void / regular? But apparently you cannot be that. You have to be a word. So I complied, right? I'm like, okay, I need a pronoun, give me a pronoun. And they were like, she, her. Because you gotta respect it. Fine, I respect it. They booted me anyway. And maybe I am a bit offended because I would have let them come into our groups, well, right wing groups. And when they come into our group, are we allowed to say, we don't accept pronouns? So if you feel like you need a pronoun by, what if we did that? They'd be screaming. So maybe I should start screaming about how unaccepting these people are, but everybody knows they're unaccepting. But I'm telling you, man, I tried to fit in, but I'm really bad at being pretend. If I knew how to be pretend better. But I can't be pretend. I can't. And I really like this show. You know what I mean? They are very smart, and she has a slideshow, and he's very witty, but they're just being fake. They're being fake. Are grown ass adults being fake. They're playing pretend and expect everybody else to play with them. And I was having a very hard time playing pretend with these people because it doesn't make any fucking sense. Why do you need a pronoun? And why do you gotta accept somebody with a mental disease? I mean, okay, you gotta accept people with a mental disease, but this mental disease is fucking role playing. It's Dungeons and Dragons for crybabies. And I just can't. I can't, and they can't, and I accept that. They can't be real, and I can't be pretend. So maybe I'll just watch their show in secret. I just won't press like. That's what I'll do. I just won't press like. But they're good. There is a good show. I'm not gonna tell you what it's called because I don't want anybody to hate them. But they're Mormons, ex-Mormons, whatever. There's a lot of ex-Mormon shows, so I don't know. But if you find them, you should go because she is really smart. But there is a right-wing guy that they was talking about yesterday. A right-wing Mormon guy. And again, they're doing the same thing that the left tried to do. There's a picture with this guy and Trump. And they're like, Trump, the kids, look, Epstein and this guy. So then I try. So pretty much, like, he's Epstein with the child trafficking, and he's the Clinton Foundation with the stealing the kids. So I made that, similarity. This dude is the Clinton Foundation and Epstein. And they were like, no, 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 it's different. It is the same thing. And the guy is called Tim something, and he's a Mormon. But they were talking about him, and it's like, this is the same thing that Epstein did. This is the same thing that the Clinton Foundation did. And they were like, no, no, no. Hey, look him up. His name is Tim. See if you can draw the similarity. Okay, and with that being said, we are going to smoke it, read it, drink it. We are on chapter 19. All right, chapter 19. And this story is so fucked up. It is crazy. Okay. And it came to pass in those days, when there was no king in Israel, there was a certain Levite sojourning on the side of Mount Ephraim, who took him a concubine out of Bethlehem, Judah. Okay. So she's a concubine, and I think that's a live-in whore / second wife. But I'm not exactly sure. So if somebody knows the answer to that, please comment, because I'm not exactly sure. And I think that was thunder. Maybe I should go get my outside cats. Because, thunder is scary to cats. But I don't know. I'm going to wait to see if I hear it again. Okay. So he went and got him a live-in whore. Okay. And his concubine played the whore against him and went away from him to her father's house to Bethlehem, Judah, and was there 4 whole months. Okay. So it sounds like she cheated on him and then ran away. Okay. And her husband arose. Okay. So the dude she's a live-in whore, apparently she married him also. Okay. So why does it changes the wording? So how are you really supposed to understand? Okay. So anyway, he followed her to tell her nice things, that he's not going to beat her up anymore, and to bring her back. And he had a servant with him and a couple asses. And she brought him into her father's house. And when the father of the damsel saw him, he rejoiced to meet him. Okay, so now it's calling her a damsel. But before it was calling her a concubine. And now it's calling him her husband. And it's calling her something different. A damsel. A damsel is different than a concubine. Like, other things are different than other things. Shut up, Nikki. I'm done. Okay. So he rejoiced. The woman's father rejoiced to see the husband. And his father-in-law, the damsel's father, retained him, and he abode with him 3 days. So they ate and drank and lodged there. Okay. And on the 4th day, when they arose early in the morning, he got up to depart. And the damsel's father said to his son-in-law, "Comfort my heart with a morsel of bread, and afterward go your way." So they sat down and ate and drank, both of them. The damsel's father had said to the man, "Be content and stay here, and your heart will be merry." And when the man rose up to depart, his father-in-law urged him. So, day 6. And he arose early in the morning on the 5th day to depart. Oh, so still on the 4th day when he got ready to leave after they got drunk. Okay. So now, the 5th day, he got up to depart, and the father said, "Stay one more night, we'll have a good time." Okay. So, they tarried until afternoon, and they did eat both of them. And when the man rose up to depart, he and his concubine, his servant, his father-in-law said, "Please, please, it's almost nighttime. Just stay. So just stay, lodge here, that my heart may be merry, and tomorrow you can go on your way." But the man would not stay. He rose up and departed. And he came over against Jebus, which was in Jerusalem. Maybe this is Jebus. And there were with him 2 asses saddled, his concubine also with him. I thought she was a damsel and then a wife. Are they just not wanting to let her father know she's a whore? They don't want her father to know she's the second wife? Okay. And they were by Jebus. The day was far spent. And the servant said to the guy, "Come on, let's turn into the city of the Jebusites and lodge in it. Let's get comfortable." Listen, get comfortable. It's about to be a whole thing. Okay. And the guy said, No, we will not turn here. We will not go here into the city of a stranger that is not of the vampires. We will pass over to Gibeah. I think it's Gibeah, which is not Gideon. It's different. And he said to his servant, "Come, let us draw near to one of these places to lodge all night in Gibeon or Ramah." Okay. Ramah ends up being important. There's some people we know from there. Well, we don't know them. I'm lying. Listen, I'm going to shut up. And they passed on and went their way. And the sun went down. The sun went down on them. Listen. So night was upon them when they were by Gibeon, which belongs to Benjamin. Okay. This is the youngest tribe. Get comfy. Okay. Belongs to Benjamin. And they turned aside to go in and lodge in Gibeah. And when he went in, he sat him down in the street of the city, for there was no man that took him into his house for lodging. So He goes into the city of one of the people that belongs to the vampires, one of the vampire tribes. And then, like, this was his choice. And so he's sitting in the city waiting for someone to take him in. And nobody is going to take him in. And behold, there came an old man from his work in the field at evening, which was also of Mount Ephraim. And he sojourned in Gibeon. But the men of the place were Benjamites. And when he had lifted up his eyes, he saw a wayfaring man in the street of the city. And the old man says, "Where are you going? And where do you come from? Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe?" That is the wildest fucking song. But anyway. And he said, "We are passing from Bethlehem, Judah, toward the side of Mount Ephraim, from the place I am from. And I went to Bethlehem, Judah, but I'm going back home. And I'm going back home and nobody wants to take me in. Like I'm traveling. I needed to go get her at her dad's house. But now I'm going back home. Yet there's both straw and provender for our asses, and there's bread and wine also for me, my handmaid, and the young man which is my servant. There's no want of anything." Okay, so now he's like, she's a maidservant. She went from concubine to wife, back to concubine, now a maidservant. This is insane. I wonder how she feels being all those things. So, like, I wonder, like, does she know what to call herself? Okay. And the old man say, okay, just don't lodge in the street. It's bad news. Now, they were making their hearts merry. Okay, so he's like, you can come to my house. Don't stay outside. Come to my house. We have a good time. So they went to his house and they were having good time. And as they were having a good time, the men of the city, behold, the men of the city, certain sons of Belial, beset the house round about, and beat at the door, and spoke to the old man, and said, "Hey, we want to see that dude. We want to see the dude at your house because we want to know him. We want to know who this guy is. This guy is no good. We worship a different God and we feel like he's in the telling us. So we need to see a man about a horse." Mm-hmm. And the old man said, no, no, he's just going through. No, no, no. You can't do like Sodom, dude. No, no. This is stupid and you're not doing it. Don't make me kick your ass. I'll go old man kung fu on you. No. And listen, you can take my daughter and this concubine. I'll bring them out, and you can, it says you can humble them. What the fuck does that mean? Take my daughter, you can humble her. Take this concubine that was a wife and, like, go ahead. Go ahead. Do whatever you want to him, but you can't. No. No. Are you kidding me? No. You're not sinning, and definitely not near my house. No. No. Take these girls. And the men were like, no. So the man took his concubine and brought her forth and was like, go ahead. And they knew her and abused her all the night until the morning. And when the day began to spring, they let her go. They hurt this poor woman. The tribe of Benjamin, God's people, they hurt this woman. For no real reason. This bad guys. This bad. And then the woman came to the house at the morning time. Okay. And the woman came at the dawning of the day and fell at the old man's door until it was light. And when he arose in the morning and opened the doors of the house and went out to go his way, behold, the woman, his concubine, his wife, his handmaid, was fallen down at the door of the house, and her hands were upon the doorknob. And he said unto her, come on, we gotta get going. But she didn't say anything. And the man took her up and put her on the ass and rose up and got to his place. And when he was home at his house, he took a knife and dismembered her body. And he divided her bones. No, he divided her together with her bones into 12 pieces and sent her to all the coasts of the vampires. Okay, so he sent it to the leaders. And it was so that all of them saw it. And there was no such deed done or seen from the day that the vampires came from Egypt unto this day. Consider of it. Hold on. And when he came to his house, he took a knife and laid hold of her and divided her, and together with her bones, into 12 pieces, and sent her to all the coast. Okay, so he sent it to all the leaders. Okay, and it was so that all that saw it said, there was no such deed done, nor ever seen, from the day that the vampires came out of Egypt unto this day. Consider of it. Take advice and speak your minds. So, the dudes was like, this is all bad. We need to find out what happened to make sure it never happens again. This is bad. It's fucking wild. Anyway. That was all we're going to get through today because I talked too much. Anyway, thank you for watching. Have the greatest day ever. Keep your head down, your nose clean, your shoes tied. Don't get ready. Stay ready. Right. So be good or be good at it. Love you. Bye.